Hello everybody, this is His Holiness Archbishop Reverend Dr. Stuart Ellis Swerdlow.
And this is Janet Diane Moria Swerdlow.
How sad for you that you don't have more titles.
How wonderful that I acknowledge who and what I am with my birth name.
Me too.
Which is amazing.
If I did, it would take an hour just to tell you all my titles.
Yeah. Well, so, speaking of therapy and people who need therapy, the UK is actually doing something really, really good, believe it or not.
They're putting the Queen in therapy?
Well, you could go there and have therapy. Apparently, accordingly, by 2023, the UK is going to be prescribing art, music, dance, and singing lessons to people that have issues. Apparently, the entire country's doctors are going to be allowed to prescribe therapeutic art or hobby-based treatments for ailments ranging from dementia to psychosis to lung conditions and mental health.
I have all of those.
I know, and I thought it was pretty good. It's called social prescribing.
Wow.
So anyway, it says that patients could find themselves enrolled in dance classes, singing lessons, and a personalized music playlist.
Wow.
Now this to me is pretty avant-garde, that apparently the health minister said that we've been fostering a culture that's popping pills and Prozac when what we should be doing is more prevention and perspiration. I don't know why this is
and they also need dental care.
Social prescribing can help us combat over-medicalizing people. And I think it's a shame, really, that we have to get to this point where people have to be prescribed this.
You know, last time I was in the UK, I have never seen so many handicapped people in my whole life.
Yeah. Well, apparently they're going to set up something called the National Academy for Social Prescribing, which will ensure general practitioners across the country can guide patients to hobby, sports, and arts group. And apparently in Canada, believe it or not, they launched a similar campaign, but it's much more limited, where the medical doctors in Montreal, or that belong to this Montreal-based medical association, can now hand out 50 prescriptions allowing patients and a limited number of friends, family, and caregivers to tour Quebec's Montreal Museum of Fine Arts for free.
They have such a thing.
Apparently. And it says that visiting a museum can raise serotonin levels to offer a quick mood boost.
So could a couple of glasses of vodka.
It says collaboration between the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra and stroke survivors in England encouraged patients to play instruments, conduct, and perform, and 90% of these participants reported improvements in their physical and mental health.
Really?
Also, dance lessons have been prescribed, and they show that patients improve concentration and communication skills, even amongst those showing early signs of psychosis.
Like me?
And some hospitals in England right now are able to refer individuals with lung conditions for singing lessons.
Psychosis and Britain is kind of the same thing.
And it says in Britain, doctors will be able to prescribe walking, cooking, bingo, and gardening.
They have to prescribe that?
Library
Really?
visits and concerts. So like I said, I'm happy that they're noticing that, but yet it's a little strange we have to prescribe
and
that.
that's why you lost the empire.
So, but they don't know how they're going to fund the services yet, apparently.
Just take some from the checking account of the Queen.
Yeah, that would work. And it said it's not intended to replace traditional forms of treatment, but to complement it. And apparently, about 2 years ago, they actually had a commission that did a report on loneliness. And so then, in January of 2018, they actually appointed Tracy Crouch to serve as the first Minister of Loneliness.
Sure, her name isn't Crouch.
But, like I said, in my opinion, it might be a ploy to do more mind control to people.
You think?
Yeah. And then I know you recently talked about what's going on in California and all the fires. And you might have talked about this before, but this was news that I hadn't heard. It's called the Nyland Geyser. Are you familiar with that?
I know they're geysers.
It's sits at the southern end of the San Andreas Fault in California, where the North American and Pacific tectonic plates touch. There's this gurgling pool of mud.
Right, I reported on that.
That moves.
Yeah, it's going 60 feet a day or something
20
like that.
feet a day, yeah. And it says that apparently it's creeping in the direction of the Union Pacific Freight Railroad tracks.
Yeah, I reported on
and
this.
the petroleum pipeline. You told them all
yes,
that stuff?
last week.
And how it's
Or a week
going
ago.
under the ground?
Yeah.
And they can't stop it?
Correct.
Okay, well,
It's old news, Missy.
Is it? All right. Well, anyway, apparently it says that typically mud pots do not produce hot water, but this one produces 40,000 gallons per day.
I have a mud pot.
And no one has seen a moving mud pot before, and they don't know why it's moving, and they
because
claim
it's slipping into the freaking ocean.
yeah, because they claim it's not due to seismic
Oh,
activity.
of course not. It just happened all by accident.
So I thought that was pretty fascinating. And then in Florida,
Oh, from
In
UK
Florida.
to California, but
All over the place.
Brainiac stories.
yeah, this is a brainiac story. Apparently, a school district in Florida had to apologize to parents of a high school-aged children who were shown a sex ed video produced by Planned Parenthood without their consent. And guess what the video was on? Sexual consent. But yet they didn't ask the parents. And why is this one important? I'll tell you why. Because like we've told you, every time we think that the envelope can't be pushed, they pushed it, in my opinion, a little bit further. This is high schoolers. The video talks about a man that shows a man grabbing a woman's breast. These are high schoolers.
They showed a video of that?
Yes, and
Why?
and multiple same-sex couples making out.
But why?
High schoolers, to show them about asking consent. They said asking for consent can be
So
some
can't they
kind
just
of
say,
sexy.
when you do something, ask permission first? Why do you have to show them a video about that kind of stuff?
I don't know.
And say, just ask permission
And
for
they
anything
didn't
you
ask
do.
the parents for consent. So, like I said, they keep pushing it because then the damage is done. And then Celine Dion post an ad for gender-neutral children's clothing
she's
line.
another brainiac. She should live in UK.
Now, it was a weird ad because I looked at it. It shows Celine Dion breaking into a hospital and blowing black confetti on newborn children. And one row had pink blankets and one row had blue blankets. So she blew black confetti on newborn children. Then she's caught by security after she's chased, and they arrest her. Now, this is children's.
And well, they should.
And then they say, inspire your children to be free and find their own individuality through clothes. So I thought that was...
Or not. Or no clothes.
Maybe that's what they want. And then I did report on this about a year ago, after her husband unfortunately passed away, that she actually sleeps in a big bed with her twin sons.
That's not right.
No. So I think that there's something going on here that's not a positive thing. And this is also an older story.
Celine is obscene.
Maybe. This is a little bit of older story, but it just came to my attention. Perhaps you've already heard about it. James Damore, a former Google engineer who was fired from his company last year for leaking a memo. He filed a lawsuit earlier this year claiming the company discriminates against conservative white men because apparently he claims they create a workplace environment open to things like polygamy and polyamory while hostile to conservative views. And he said that they have internal workshops which include alternative lifestyles, including furries, polygamy, transgenderism, and plurality for the purpose of discussing sexual topics, but they don't talk about traditional heterosexual monogamy.
Because that doesn't exist anymore.
And then he said they even had an employee who sexually identifies as a yellow-scaled wingless dragonkin.
Really?
And another employee who sexually identifies as an expansive, ornate building. And they gave a talk internally called Living as a Plural Being.
I don't know what the heck that means.
A plural being?
Means you're more than one thing?
Yeah. And to me, that's programming. So, remember, 13 cubed people take control of their own mind, basic mind control and deprogramming
Well,
here.
apparently they don't have a mind.
True reality, sexuality. So these are 3 really great books.
You know what? I identify as being an entire metropolitan area.
Yeah, you're building steward or city steward.
You know why? I can't say it.
Yeah, I don't say it. But anyway, and I actually looked at plural being, and there are a lot of websites encouraging people to be plural beings. That's programming people. And then we have more things to program you with. There's a company called Heavy Hitters. It's a Southern California vape company. They want to hire 20 national ambassadors to be responsible for promoting their vape cartridges at a variety of events and on social media. So they have a job out for these 20 ambassadors. It's called Travel, Smoke Weed, and Get Paid. So each ambassador will receive $1,200 a month in cash, $500 credit for Heavy Hitters products, all expenses paid travel to cannabis events, be among the first to try new strains and products, and work closely with prominent dispensaries.
What could go wrong?
Yeah. So I'm just telling you, that's how they program you. So, proceed at your own risk. And then the last thing, which we might want to do this one actually. This is a good one. A 69-year-old man says he identifies as a 49-year-old.
Oh, I heard about that.
He's in Holland.
Holland, yeah.
He wants
They're not too bright over
his
there.
age to legally be changed so he can meet more women on Tinder and get a better job and drive a better car.
That's not too deceptive.
He's actually filed a lawsuit, and he says you can change your name, you can change your gender, so why not change your age?
Because you are that age.
But he says he's discriminated against, and if they can discriminate you on everything else, what
he
about
needs
that?
heavy therapy.
He says he's afraid that companies won't hire him, employees will look at him differently. He said, when I'm on Tinder, if it says 69, you won't get anybody to...
Then go to a senior citizen.
He doesn't want to be a senior citizen. I think it's a good thing.
You think he should be younger?
Well, then
even though he's not?
Listen, we could change our birth certificates too.
I don't
Instead
give
of
a
being
damn.
Our age, we could be, like 30.
I'm like 400 years old. I don't care.
That would be a good way. We could do reverse, where he wants to be younger, we could go older. We could say we're actually like 800 years old.
You like being older.
Yeah, we could be 800 years old, and think how wise that would make us sound, right?
Well,
I think we should do that one. I think that's better than this one. You've got something going right there. And we could do our own dating website for like people who are in their...
Hundreds.
Yeah, hundreds. I like that.
I like it too.
All right, so that's good. So, that's it.
You call it the new millennium.
Well, I don't care what we call it, but I like it.
900 and want to be 1,000?
You're discriminating against me because I'm 800 years old, right? I like that. All right, so until next time.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.